This is Adam.
Hey Adam, my name's Dana. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too shabby. I got your reply to my message and figured I would just reach out with a call versus a text and make sure we were on the same page so I don't keep bugging you if it's not something that would fit. But the
No, you're
uh,
good.
the Brookshire drive there. So you said um, that she's negotiable, but not looking to do something like a subject to. Obviously, I assume you've gotten a bunch of those offers based on that reply.
Oh, oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I've had at least six.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's
and they're all full price offers and all that stuff, so,
yeah. I was gonna say that's
but
honestly
you're
not that
not willing to
many.
budge.
That's not that many compared to. I'm in Arizona and I do most of my rentals here, and sometimes I call on them and they're
Oh,
like,
okay.
I don't know, 25 people that have made that same offer, and so I'm like,
Yeah,
so six really isn't that bad. But I think it's because this is just a smaller town, and it honestly might not even
yeah,
fit for what I was thinking. To be honest, I have an assistant that pulls lists and sends me ones and says, hey, this might fit for a rental, and we buy a couple different ways. I buy cash, I buy taking over payments, I buy seller financing. It just depends on what fits the situation,
gotcha.
and so
Okay,
ultimately, like, I mean, I don't even know if it would fit on here, but if it did, it would be similar to a subject to, but it would be using a mirror wrap that gives the seller more protections than, a lot of those people making those subject to offers aren't actually doing them properly, which is, a shame.
yeah.
It's a great,
And that's what
it's a,
she's worried about. That's what I'm worried about.
yeah, because it's a great way to do it if you do it properly, but the proper way to do it is have title put a new note and deed of trust in place that gives gives the seller a protection to be able to foreclose if somebody misses payments. If they just buy it subject to and they don't actually
Yeah.
put a new note and deed of trust in place and have the
Mm-hmm.
wrap financing, so we call it a mirror wrap because it's mirroring the exact terms, like the same rate, the same payment, the same, et cetera, just making those payments. That gives
Oh,
the
okay.
seller the ability to foreclose. Like, so if we missed payments, just as the bank would foreclose
Mm-hmm.
on her, I think you said it was a her,
Yeah.
if I say that wrong,
Yeah.
she would foreclose on us and we would lose all the money that we put into it. So, like, there's a safe way to do it, but it's not for everybody. It's got to be a specific situation.
Yeah.
So that's what I just wanted to call and throw out there is like
Yeah.
it would be similar to that, but a little different because we do a little more protections. But I don't. After I looked at this one, normally we don't go. I mean, the furthest out one we've done, we did one in Columbia, Tennessee last year, which I thought might not be the
Oh, okay.
greatest market, and we actually turned that one into a furnished rental, and it's been doing fantastic. So, you know,
Yeah, I was going to say Columbia actually surprisingly does well.
yeah, when I'm from Arizona, so I'm not super like up on all the smaller towns over there, but I had a buddy who was I showed him it and he was like, dude, that's a great area for a furnished rental, and I
Hmm.
was like, oh, okay. And so it's been up and running well. So, but yeah, so I mean,
That's great.
I won't push on this one. Just wanted to kind of throw it out there. If it comes to a spot where they want to consider something like that, I have a way to do it that's safe. That would be done through, we would have the title company prepare everything, but I wouldn't even. I don't normally like to pitch it as an option unless we've had a conversation that says, hey, there's a reason that they would do this instead of just waiting and selling on market, or making it a rental themselves or something like that.
Yeah,
So curious,
makes sense.
is that on their
Hmm.
like short list? Because from what I looked at, it doesn't look like they have any equity to really have much wiggle room on pricing changes.
No, no, and she does, and I mean, like we've dropped the price a couple of times, and now it's just really a waiting game because I've this is my third one in this neighborhood to sell, and they, well, one of them is closing about a week and a half, but
Nice.
most of the time in this neighborhood, it's kind of slow. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just like it's one of those. There's a lot of new construction available in the White House area, and that's where we get in this neighborhood it gets hit a little bit because it's like you're still getting a decent price and everything, but lower HOA fees and all that stuff is great, but they don't have the amenities like some of the other are, and then those are actually brand new houses where this has been lived in. So
Right.
usually it takes 60 days, 90 days, something like that to sell most of the time.
Yeah, and those new builds are probably offering rate incentives too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm like I
got
had
one.
I was gonna say I had that problem with when I was trying to sell locally here, and we ended up making it a rental for I think 3 years before we ended up selling it, just because every time we'd list it, it was like the new builds would do something crazy to make ours not look as exciting, and it is what it is. But
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like I had one person that I ended up collecting as a buyer, but they were wanting to check out that house and they liked it, but it just wasn't for them. And then mostly because they have this other new construction that is like I think it's like 1% down, like as far or the interest rate is lowered by 1%, and then they're paying for 10,000 your closing costs.
oh geez,
And I mean that's not bad.
yeah, that's hard to compete with. That's hard to
Oh, for
compete
sure.
with. So, all right. Well, hopefully they get an offer that makes sense and they don't have to, you know, struggle too hard with it. Is she planning on just cutting a check for the difference, or are you gonna have to negotiate a short sale, or is she basically like right at break even
We
there?
haven't really got to that point yet. The main thing is she's wanting to make sure that she doesn't owe anything. So if she has to let it sit for 6 months, she's willing to do that just so make sure that she doesn't have to pay anything out of pocket for it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
That's
Cool.
her.
Yeah. If
That's
she's
her
not.
biggest thing.
Yeah. If she's not in a rush, that would make sense because the numbers I had run up made it look like it was going to be like. Well, I don't know unless you've got discounted commissions or something that it was going to be 5 or 6 grand short as priced, but that depends on
No,
what the
I
exact
think
closing costs or whatever
yeah,
are.
she's put some. I believe she's put some more in there, so because no, her net should be a few thousand,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's not going to be much. But yeah, I was looking at that as well, and I think she just added some payments or something, to it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I
Of
just
course,
use a.
I don't know exactly how that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just use a software and it gives like
But
a generic number based off public records, but it just uses like a calculation based on when they got the loan, what the rate was, and so it's never fully
gotcha.
accurate, but it's normally pretty close. Just helps us on there. So,
Okay.
you got anything else exciting that might be interesting to look at? I'm actively looking for another rental.
Mm,
I buy cash fixers, but that's like a very small part of my business. Seller finance
okay.
is like the next biggest. Mostly, what I do is just low equity, wrap purchases, like what I'd be looking at on this
Gotcha.
potentially. The last year or two when rates gone crazy, it's been impossible to cash flow if you're not taking over a low rate. I mean, heck, our
Oh,
the last
absolutely.
the last 12 houses we took over in 23, our average interest rate was like 3.85. So,
Oof,
and there's it's
that's not
crazy,
bad.
you know, 3.85. There's like half of them that barely break even as a long term rental because the price
Hmm.
the price went up so fast, but the rents didn't appreciate as fast. So
Yeah.
at 7% whatever now there's half of them I'd be losing 1,000 a month, but you know it's part of
Yep.
the process.
Yep. Absolutely. No, I get that. Well, I don't have anything right now, but I'll definitely keep an eye out for anything, especially low equity, that kind of deal, and I'll send them over if you want, and if I see anything good.
Yeah, shoot it to me. I'd say some of the stuff we buy, a lot of it's been on market, so I pay agent fees and closing costs and all that fun stuff. But I'd say
Mm,
half of my purchases last year were facing either a short sale or foreclosure. So you know something like that comes across your desk, definitely keep me in mind because we can help
okay.
catch up payments or whatever if it makes sense to take over the loan in those situations versus somebody writing a check or letting the bank take advantage of a foreclosure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I get that.
Cool, man. Well, I really appreciate you taking my call, and I hope we can do a deal. And I hope this one gets a full price offer from a traditional buyer soon. And if not, maybe somewhere
Yeah.
down the line, I'll be a backup option.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, hopefully, I mean, if she gets to the point, I'm sure she'd be willing for it, but she's still wanting to hold out for now. But definitely, I'm gonna keep your number, and then if something comes up, I'll let you know though.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye.